Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I know it looks a little different. It'll only be a couple more weeks, get my new monitor, and everything will go back to the way everyone loves it.
Yes.
I'm Hamer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
And Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
You made it under the wire, dear.
Yeah.
Got here just in time.
Yeah. My stuff has been weird like that lately.
Yeah. Well, I'm not helping you by making you jump around to different rooms either, so I apologize for that.
To be fair, I could have asked on the chat sooner. I was just like, let's try to figure this out and then ask for help, which is the womanly way to do it, you know?
Well, I did at least find a way of linking the show that I make on YouTube with the StreamYards we're going to use, which is better than we did last week, or at least way better than I did last week.
Yeah.
So that's
posted the wrong one because StreamYard just created a new one for no reason.
Yeah. So now I could just say, yeah, use this one over here. This is the RTMP server that you want to use. That's where it exists. It's like, oh, I found it. Thank you very much.
Before we get too far into it, I would like to say hi to everyone on Rumble. That was it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about taking the YouTube show and after it was done, uploading it to Rumble.
Oh, there you go.
You could always do that too.
There's nothing on this version of the show that says anything about which channel you're on.
Yeah.
So there's no.
I've also been told that the feed, like the replay on Rumble is actually kind of better for some people.
It is for me.
Yeah. I haven't, like, I rewatch my own, like when I'm testing my own streams just to see that it, you know, it actually sounds or looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the feed, the playback on Rumble is actually kind of nice.
That link that I saw from you, was it yesterday? Had a bald woman and two guys. Is that what I was looking at? I was watching it on my phone.
It's a bald woman, yes. Toasty.
Okay.
She's conservative. The poor girl lives in New York. She's basically doing a little GoFundMe to get her boyfriend and her two autistic kids out of New York. But she's somebody I follow because of the JT Smash stuff. Mm-hmm. She's just buddies with JT. I wouldn't even put her in the space of being like massive gamer. Like she plays a couple of games with her friends, and you know that's enough to make her somewhat of a gamer. But she looks the way that she does, so sometimes people on the left just assume that she agrees with them on stuff, and she's like, "No, I'm still a conservative. She just has alopecia, so her hair kind of falls out, and she just decided, well, if I'm not going to have hair, at least do." She just figured that shaving it would be better.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if she thought the same thing that she would think and just wear a wig.
She has some. She actually does that as part of her shtick. Because she's got the kind of face that fits with different characters. She just changes out her wig.
Yeah.
And she's got a pretty face, so like, yeah.
Whenever a Shu does a stream, she'll do the stream with one wig on. And then when she does a promo for like Ground News or something like that, suddenly she has a completely different wig on. It looks completely different from the. She got glasses and her makeup's different, and she got a different wig. It's just like, who's this person?
And also when she's playing like a feminist, like when she like dresses up as a feminist, she's got a completely different wig for that one.
Yes, with a pink wig on.
Yeah,
she's done that before to joke. Like, I mean, like, people know what they look like, but she's like, well, that doesn't mean that like she holds those opinions and stuff. But this week, I think she's already purchased the wig for it. But my understanding is she's doing Amelia for the next month.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha. When you sent me the link, I thought you were sending me a link to your stream. So the link came up. I was like, oh, I'm not watching the stream. And I hit it, and I was like, who is? That's not Jen.
I've been on Toasty's stream a couple of times. It's really just how many people she has on a panel, because unlike us, she does have a few more people on her panel, but I think she likes to keep it at like 6 at max, because she can only hold, people can only handle so many people on a panel.
Yeah.
So but she's super nice. She's one of Pat's friends, and then I realized that the JT Smash stuff had kind of unintentionally. It actually hit a couple people who aren't necessarily JT Smash. Like, he acknowledges that some of his friends got pulled into that lawsuit in a way that was really not fair because they're not really involved. But I was watching her perspective because lefty women are scary.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
You know, so I figured I'd be at least a friend to somebody else. You know, I'm like, oh shit, they're scary. Okay, you know what? I'll at least be your friend. You know.
Yeah.
Well, when you sent me the link, I got it on my phone and played it on my phone, and it was just too small to watch on my phone because I never got back to it. I would want to play it on my PC so I can see who's talking and all that kind of stuff. Something that drives me crazy about other streams: people don't display on the screen who's really talking. You have to kind of know the voices. Like, this is not a hit on anybody or anything like that, but just to use the corner for an example, he puts the entire group in a 1" by 1" box in the bottom of the corner, and I can't tell. I got a fucking 4K monitor. I can't read that shit. I have no idea. When Moon talks, or when, well, maybe not Jack, but you know, people talk, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I can't tell. I can't see their chat bubble moving because it's the chat bubble's up, you know, about the
Tiny little thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the head of a pin. It's like, fuck. So I just need to go there more often and listen and to learn how people sound.
Yeah,
it's worse for me when they start a panel off and they don't have people signing their names on the bottom. So like, you've got like a picture of like, you know, 6 or 7 different people. Sometimes it's 9, depending on which weirdo is hosting. And you realize you only know the names of 2 people because 2 people thought to put their names into the bottom. And I'm like, so nobody knows who anybody is.
I just noticed that our names are not in either.
That's something we could probably. Well, I think you have to do it when you come in.
But also, I mean, the 3 of us sound pretty different, so it shouldn't be too hard for people to tell which of us is talking.
Our avatars are pretty distinctive too. We all have flags behind them, so you know.
Yeah.
Is it? Exactly. Well, I'm thinking, is it just how it's configured? Or do I change?
I have to confess, I haven't had to set up on StreamYards in such a long time that I'm like, I can't remember where all that stuff is.
I couldn't tell you.
But like, it's nice when you have like, especially if you have new people or a guest on, to have the name underneath. But
yeah, well, I notice when I'm on other streams like Frosted's that my name is underneath my avatar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only is my name underneath there, but I can also put in like a little blurb underneath it.
Yeah, the motto or whatever it's called.
Is that a paid feature?
I have no idea.
The only reason you guys have names on OBS is because I hard code them into the OBS screen.
Right.
I'm pretty sure StreamYards does have a way to do it. I just honestly can't remember how. Like, I think it's in the edit avatar or visuals.
Yeah, I would assume there's a way to do it.
But
But yeah, as Hammer said, maybe it's only for paid users.
It could be. It could be a special feature. StreamYards. I'm not asking for a lot. I get you need money to support yourself. I do understand that. That is, you know, once they got to a certain size, I understand having to expand things that they, you know, need to have money to run a company. But at least changing the color of the background screen, really? You have to pay for that? I told that to Hammer the other day because I didn't know that was a thing, Terry. I didn't know that you could change the white to black.
Oh, okay.
But you have to pay for that feature.
There's almost no features in StreamYard that you can implement without paying for it.
I mean,
I did notice when I went live that it asked me if I wanted to play an intro video, but I was afraid to click on it because I thought as soon as I click on it, it's going to say, "Well, if you do, you got to pay." I'm like, "Fuck you!" Yeah. I just went live. I'll check it out later. I'll run a test stream on my own channel to see if I can actually play intro video.
It says go to style, and go down to theme, and you can put the names on.
Oh, really? All right.
But yeah, I don't use StreamYard for anything other than a way to talk to Tier because Discord sucks. So when I'm playing board games with Tier, we need to be able to talk to each other, and Discord is atrocious. So
All right. So help me out here, Tier. I'm in presets. I'm in brand. No, I'm in style. On the right hand side, style is highlighted, and it gives me presets, brand color, theme, font, default camera. But if I click on anything, it doesn't seem to make any difference.
apparently you have no style, according to Tier.
All right, so I have to turn the styles on first. I don't see how to do that. I mean, I do have the button on the right hand side that says style, and it is highlighted.
I think maybe we wait for someone who can actually type coherently to give instructions.
I mean, there is no option on the right for the word brand. Brand is a drop-down box under styles.
Just to explain to Kevadam, the reason we're doing this is Hammer's monitor is broken, so he can't use OBS. He won't be able to replace his monitor until the beginning of next month. So yes, it'll be next week. Will also be like this, and then after the week after, I'm pretty sure we should be fine.
I could change the boxes, make them circular. Gray boxes in the background, but it doesn't give me the option for double, classic, minimal, walk. Oh, here it is. I had to scroll down even further. Show display names.
Yeah,
It'll take a second.
Headline. So headline is the thing that the comment that you're talking about earlier. That's apparently called the headline, and you can display headline if you want people to be able to add their own headline as well.
Isn't it ironic that I know OBS pretty much inside and out, but I can't fucking figure out StreamYards?
Well, you got the names to show up. That's all that matters. And now you can apparently change the color of them as well.
Yeah. Give me a color, Jen.
Too slow.
What? No, I actually didn't hear you. Like what?
I just said too slow.
Give me a color. We're having a little fun here, folks. Give me a second, all right?
Blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
That's the default color. Give me something else.
Oh, green.
Green. And green is not available. Your choices are, besides the yellow we already have, your choices are red and black.
Oh.
Stick with the Pornhub colors.
Yeah. Go with red.
With red?
E.
There you
go.
Kind of red?
Style choice. Yeah, kind of orange. Yeah, it is kind of oranges, isn't it? I wonder if there's.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, pink.
Oh,
right.
Pink. What's this one? Black with a bar next to it.
Well, that's actually kind of nice. I like that one.
All right, we'll stick with this one. Just because you like it. I know Tony doesn't give a shit, neither do I.
No, I do not care what color the names are written in.
I'll be real. I've always thought accented colors were better than like flat bars because a flat bar will blind you sometimes because it's like too much.
Did I ask both of you how you're doing tonight?
I don't think so, but
okay, both of you, how are you doing tonight?
I'm tired but fine. How are you?
I am well. How about you, Jen?
I'm in the same boat, and I have nothing going on that would explain it except for weather.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure what I was watching in Minnesota is pretty similar to what we have, where we've gone from like crash down to kind of warm to crash down to kind of warm to crash down. So after like a week of that, you just feel like fucking shit.
Well, that's actually one of the topics tonight is what's going to happen to the East Coast next week, or actually Saturday or Sunday, Monday. But why don't we go ahead and say hello to everybody in chat, seeing as how it's been, what, 15 minutes?
Well, I already said hi to Rumble, so I'm fine. I've done my thing.
Well, I could go back. I did set it on live chat, so I got a long list, but that's okay. Hey JB. Hi Terry.
Hello.
I know I'm cheating. I could say his whole name. Hi Blue-Eyed Scream. Hi minions of the zoo.
Hello.
or hi Hammer.
Same hello.
Hi Mike. Let's go down a little bit more. Make sure that I'm reading as I go. Hi Tier. I know you were there. Hi Starlit Misfit. Hi Silver Ravenwing. I knew you were in there. I'm sure you've talked a few times before. Hi Green. We got a new person. Hi Rats Short 89ish. Or sorry, yeah, 89ish. I got it right. And Keeverdam. Hi Keeverdam.
Hey.
And yep, that's it.
Okay.
Hello everybody.
Well, one of the topics that did not get added to the list by Hammer is Australian politics is in a complete shit show at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's going on?
I don't know all the details, but from what I've seen, the Liberal Party agreed with the Labor Party to push through like the anti-hate speech bill, and so the National Party, who the Liberals are in a coalition with, have basically said they want out. They're that disgusted with the Liberal Party for doing this that they're breaking up the coalition.
Wow.
So if the National Party ends up joining One Nation, which is the party that I like, One Nation could overtake the Liberals as like the second biggest party in Australia.
Wow.
So what you're saying is Australia needs their own Amelia. We need to create an Australian Amelia so that we could put it out and get this shit on the go.
Just call her Sheila.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You're a genius, Terry.
But so the Liberal Party is in a lot of trouble. Like everyone hates them at the moment.
I think it's rightfully so. Like as much as I bring up the Amelia thing as a joke, the more people watch those memes, the more she's actually making a point.
Oh yeah.
Like because it is really kind of based off of British conversations and topics and yeah, it might be in meme form, but you know, people are nicer when they're joking about their ills.
Yeah. No, I think Amelia is absolutely amazing. I think it's the greatest thing that's it's the greatest thing that the government of England has ever done ever. And they didn't even do it on purpose, but that's okay. It's almost better that they didn't do it on purpose.
It's just that all of us are in the same boat except for the US right now. Like as much as you guys have weirdos who don't understand what it is that you have, this speech thing and the freedom and ability to express, yes, it is towards the government, ill towards the decision makings that they've made that we really haven't consented to. Like we didn't vote for this shit at all.
Nope.
And they've left us with nowhere to turn. I'm like, shit, what do you think we have to like what do you expect us to do?
Two chicks at the same time.
This is actually a good question for you because there's what people are saying on Twitter and there's what the news is saying, and I don't really know what the word is on the ground, but this Carney guy, I guess, is in charge.
Mark wants to let China do military stuff in my country, and I'm like, no, we have too much
military stuff. I thought he just wanted to buy their cars.
He he basically wants to go to China as a way to get away from the US, and I don't agree with it at all. I don't have a problem with working with China. Like, I think that there's a lot of ways that we should be working with China that would make things better between all of us. Yeah. But the thing is the way that they're doing it is to sell out my country, and I don't like that at all, and I don't accept it. I'm not okay with it, and I'm actually I have until the end of the week to go and sign up myself for this independent Alberta thing. I found a link that tells me where we're supposed to go for Calgary. So that's what I'm going to do next week.
China, in my opinion, China is a lot more hell-bent on getting a foothold in Canada because it's a shortcut to the States. I really think that's their prime motivation.
It's a shortcut to the States, and we're basically compliant in a way that I'm like, that's not okay. We don't want to go China. Sorry, I like the Chinese, but I don't like their government. I've never liked their government, and I don't want to go and be like a place that had a one-child rule where, yeah, they were murdering children to uphold that.
Is that the feeling on the ground in all the provinces? Are all the provinces kind of against what he's doing?
I can't say anything for enough of Ontario, and like I actually think Quebec is against it. Everything that I've felt like I've seen coming out of Quebec is them actually doing their own independence thing. Like,
yeah, Quebec is like, no, we're our own country. Fuck you.
Yeah, they
just for just about everything.
They're more anti-foreigner than we are. Mm-hmm. And it's because in their mind, they do see it as trying to uphold their culture to the best of their degree. Mm-hmm. It actually includes, it does include English. You know, it's not that they hate us. It's just they really are losing their culture. Like they are losing a lot of their heritage. And so every time they flood them with more foreigners, it happens again. And like half of it has to do with, they're trying to retain their language. They're trying to retain how they go about things. And that conflicts with, it conflicts with Islam. It absolutely does, because they're Christians. They're Catholics.
It seems to me that Quebec hates everybody, but hates us the least because we're on the same continent.
They have to work with you. You make them money. And they need money to survive just like everybody else. And sometimes they're fair about their own history, you know? Like, yes, they're going to snub their nose at you because they think you'll stab them in the back too, just like everybody else. At the same time, though, you've been fair to them sometimes too. They're that kind of people where they'll remember stuff like that. They'll still snub you in the nose. They're like, you're fucking Anglo, you know, you're English speaking. So they'll make fun of you for that. Yeah. But if you did something that really helped them out, like historically or with their ancestry or something, they still remember that shit. So no, they're not going to be absolutely that bad. But
I've always said
politics.
If I were to want an attribute or a superpower or something like that, one of the people don't usually use this one, but I would like to be able to speak every language fluently. I think that's so great. You can automatically talk to anyone about anything. Yeah. And they will see you not as a foreigner because you will be talking in the accent that's appropriate. You know, so if I had to go to Quebec and talk in French, I would be able to talk in French as if I were a Frenchman, or in their case, as a Quebecian or Quebecite or whatever you want to call it. And that's automatically going to engender a certain amount of trust.
Yeah, that reminds me back when I used to watch Aber and Preach. Preach was saying that he was going to like some other country, and he's like asking someone, "How do you say, you know, like what's up?" And then like let's say it was Spanish, and then they're like, you know,
hola,
bonjour, or like French or whatever, like bonjour, and then he's like, no, that's hello. Tell me how to say what's up, and like because he wanted something that wouldn't immediately like, highlight him as a tourist.
Yeah.
So if you say the French equivalent of what's up, then they'll think, oh, well, this guy knows the language, as opposed to someone reading from a phrase book saying, you know, bonjour.
He's familiar. Yeah, he's familiar enough with us that he speaks in slang, not just in proper.
Yeah, but that's how he wants to come across, because he knows that if he marks himself out as a tourist, he'll just get robbed.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've always said that if there was something I ever wanted to do, is be able to talk to everybody in their language, in their dialect, all that kind of stuff. So even being in different parts of Quebec, I'm sure there's different dialects, just like there is in every state in the United States. Not only be able to speak to them and speak to them with the proper slang, but said in the proper way. Just having that's a huge. I could just walk anywhere into any consulate anywhere and apply for a job as an interpreter. What languages, you know? Oh, I know all of them.
Yeah.
Dude, you're hired. You know. So, you speak Swahili fluently. What?
But Jay Bliza pretty much put out our basic relationship with Quebec. We don't really hate them. They just do their own thing. Most of our arguments, at least with Alberta and Quebec, it's mostly just politics. Like, yeah, we'd like to do business with them, and sometimes they don't want to do business with us because they're like dirty Albertans. But when we had the convoy event, there was a lot of people who had a lot of conversations where it was Albertans and Quebec people. And in a lot of those conversations, I think a lot of people walked away realizing that we're actually in a very similar boat. We actually have a lot of things in common. And like the things that we're trying to do trade on, we could do very well with it if they would just let us work with each other. But between the red tape and our own media, they really do try to pit us against each other. And sometimes they do it with things like stereotypes, like, you know, old grievances, things like that. But the old grievances aren't the issue. The grievances are the current ones. We were all kind of aware that we're being fucked over, and nobody is happy. Like there's nobody here who's like, well, we hate the foreigners. No, we hate the politics that have brought them in such a way where they've now become a problem. That's actually what we really hate.
I hate both.
True, but like there's this level where you're like, okay, is it really about that, or is it because you've kind of been fucking us all over, and now it costs us like, you know, 2 to 3 times more to afford everything? You know, you don't hate people because like that's not why you would, you know, it's politics that you might argue over, but it's not like, oh, I hate you because you're actually French. We know history and stuff, but like the thing with being North American, it's the same as you, Terry. We don't live there anymore. Who gives a shit? You know? Like,
so I think you know, go be French away from me. That's fine. I don't mind.
It's just how it is. But at the same time, though, we died together, you know, on the fields in World War I and II, and we're like, are we both being screwed over? Yeah. Are we really both? Yeah, we are. You know, for a few minutes, you can be allies with people that you know, or you're good allies.
Music poll is up.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Along those same lines, Jen, well, I was going to ask you about Carney. Do Canadians in general believe that they're actually going to get invaded by the United States?
No.
Good.
We think that we're if we're being invaded by anything, it's the woke, it's the lefties, because they bust each other in, and I don't know how extensive that is, but the more I look at like things like Minnesota and places where I see your upheaval and then I see our upheaval, and sometimes they just kind of look similar to each other, you know? And I'm like, this really is a global thing.
If the US isn't going to invade Canada, can I nominate Australia to be targeted? I think Australia would gladly, I would gladly become the 51st state if Canada doesn't want the job.
It wouldn't hurt to have Trump do a proper tour, because like he did one up here, and yeah, it's not that we don't have resources. We haven't worked on them at all. You know, so it's like, where do you want to take a loss? Do you want to take a loss with a country that's been suffering for 30 years and it's actually probably easier for you to come in and fix it? Or do you want to take a loss on a country that honestly could fix their own shit?
Yeah. JB says Australia does have kangaroos. Yes, we do.
You do.
We have
You
kangaroos.
have kangaroos
And that's why Trump has not threatened Australia.
and wallabies.
He doesn't want to fight the birds either. What are they? What are they called?
Emus.
Emus. Yeah, he doesn't want to fight them either. He knows it's a losing situation.
Yeah. Those things are scary.
But he went after Europe and he went after Canada. Threatened both of them. So, and both of them freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like Canada. Australia has probably the same fault that we do. All of your major cities are kind of on a circle close to the coast.
Yeah. At least Canada was honest about it because they said, well, we've done mock-ups and all this kind of stuff, and we would last 2 weeks.
Our thing was
kind of generous, actually. But all right.
Yeah, our thing was back in the 1900s, and it was a joke. We just basically moved our city to a different spot, and then implied that it would be a different place. So a lot of Americans for a really long time thought that our capital city was Toronto. And it's like, no, you got to go a little further north. But like all of our provinces are designed like that. So one city kind of stands out a little bit more. So you would think that's the one to go to capture that province. And it's like, no.
Well, I was
true to form, we have a 3-way tie in the music province.
So far. Yeah. Being an American and being arrogant about our military prowess, I pointed out when they said that they would prepare for war, I started seeing these prepare for war tweets going on. I said, Canada has 200 LP tanks. They're second generation. The United States has 7,750 fifth generation M1 Abrams. Exactly how long do you think you're going to last?
It's stuff that like the thing I told you guys, that's all irrelevant. Like none of your military believes the whole, well,
that's good.
Because they've known where our major cities are for the longest time. Like we don't, we may tell that joke now, but
yeah. How long have we been protecting you? How long have you not needed a military? Because no one will go near you because you're next to us. How long? I mean, that's been like ever since
World War II.
1776 or maybe a little later. But once we started becoming a military superpower, Canada's like, they got it. We'll just relax. You gotta take care of it.
If Australia wasn't allied with the US, I think we'd be Chinese by now.
Yeah. And I got kind of pissed on Twitter, and I didn't want to offend anybody, but I said, hey, if Canada and Europe doesn't want to have us have our military bases there, and you want to take care of everything yourself, go right the fuck ahead, because we're spending billions on having bases all around the world that we could put into our education system. We're doing all the world police protection, and it's costing us a fucking arm and a leg. And while it makes sense to be there to keep China and Russia out, it also makes sense that we don't have to have as many as we do, and we can use that money here at home.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's the big kicker. The thing that our government has been crapping on us about, especially in the Western world, is our inability to increase our population fast enough to appease them. They have to bring in people from other places. Canada is right next door to the US. At what point did we think that not trying to get Americans to move up here was like somehow a great idea? Because I've always thought, well, culturally speaking, we're the closest in heritage. Like it's just as not just a landmass, but also in terms of how we came to be, we're kind of the closest in terms of heritage. So yes, like a little bit's different in terms of how we run. We're not so different that you can't figure it out or like do really well up here, or vice versa. And if you came up here and we're like, okay, well, let's tweak things this way or that way so we could do better. That's kind of what you do as a country. Somehow, some way, we did everything we could to make our industry so unappealing that you guys moved back to the US. As if the idea of you moving up here with the thought of starting families and increasing our population wasn't part of the initial plan or something.
Our infantry goes up to Canada and they're like, hey, we're in Canada. Well, it's kind of cold. I think we'll go home.
Yeah.
You know, but like people are very adaptable, and when they find themselves liking a place, they become adaptable. So like if I look at like, yeah, Minnesota is like, it's not a small place. Like it's actually, in comparison to Canada, it's not a small place, you know. So it's not that people can't live and kind of figure out how to live in the cold. You know, Alaska's still a thing. We crapped on every industry that would encourage you to come up here. And they wonder why we're struggling. And I'm not saying we need Americans to increase our population. I'm just saying that little extra overflow would have been enough to cap what we needed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and here's the thing, not everyone in the US is a white person. So it's not about color. It's more about like, okay, well, can we do better with our relations with people we already kind of work with and have since like, you know, or taking people that honestly have to rearrange how they live to really live comfortably here.
Well, if the U.S. decides to back off of the world police role, the first thing that happens is Ukraine falls in a week, because they won't have any of our military to protect them with, you know, guns and all that kind of shit. And then Poland 2 weeks later. Yeah. And on the other side, China.
The EU will help them out, Hannah.
Yeah, so they say. The other side is China. Takes Taiwan in a day. Takes Japan in a month. All that stuff definitely happens.
Yeah.
So I don't like being the world police. I think it's bullshit. But I think that we spend far too much money. We get bases that are pretty much within eyesight of other bases. It's like, we don't need that many. I don't know how many we have. I'm going to just say a round number, maybe 400 bases around the world.
Yeah.
We need about 200. That would be fine.
It's also a lot of the things that you guys have been asking us to do is stuff that we agreed to. And I know that was like my grandparents and stuff. At what point do you think that throwing out the word of your grandpa is actually just okay? It's one thing to change some things in the future because, like, okay, maybe our society and yours has changed, but your word should still matter. Like, that's just stuff that you change as you go with agreements with each other, but you're still holding to your word. The idea that we've thrown out our promises that our grandparents have made, like it's dirty dishwater, is shameful. And it's also the reason I think we're suffering. Like I could tell you that like my grandfather might not agree with a lot of what the US is doing. I think he would be ashamed of a lot of the decisions that my country has made, because it's also the reason where, you know, you're supposed to uphold to your word. If you made a deal with somebody, you're supposed to uphold to that.
I'm starting not to agree with some of the things that Trump is doing. So this whole thing, he went over to Switzerland, Davos. He went over to Switzerland, and in front of a huge Swiss crowd, he said, "If it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German right now." You know what the primary language in Switzerland is? German.
German.
Hey, you fucking idiot! You didn't know that?
I knew it was either German, Italian, or French, because I know that there's like all three of them are.
They do have their own language too. They have like some kind of language that's just only spoken in Switzerland, but it's like 4% of people do it.
Yeah, Swiss German is a language as well. But
yeah,
I think the three primary languages are German, Italian, and French.
My grandmother is from Austria. She would when we went on a tour, she tested her German when she was in Switzerland. She said it's still a different version of German. Yeah. But there was some times where she could understand what they were saying, and there was some times where she would figure out what their word was, because, you know, why not learn a different version of German?
Yeah.
But it is a little bit different. There is a little bit more. It is more of a blend of French and German, and probably Italian. Yeah, definitely Italian.
If he would have used it as a joke, it would have been hilarious. But he thought it was real. If he would have said, "Yo, we speak German right now." Oh wait.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been very Trumpian. But
yes.
What are we going to do about the music bowl?
I think you have to break the tie.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's 11 votes.
No, I did vote. I did.
I voted too. I think. You can give it a few more minutes if you want, but I think everyone's voted. It'll be up to you to break the tie, I guess, Hammer.
You do this to me on purpose.
I think they do. I genuinely think they plan it amongst themselves. They look at which one is winning, and the next okay, we need to get the other three up.
That's a conspiracy. Drive me crazy. Well, we'll let it go for a little while longer. See if anybody jumps in later, and they'll probably pick the one that's in fourth place and make it a 4-way tie.
I was expecting them to do that. Yeah.
So, anyway, do you guys want to explore some topics?
Sure.
Oh, we could do that in the final 15 minutes.
We are destined to not get to our topics. We have two. Sonny Hostin from The View wants to sue Donald Trump for defamation.
Okay.
She's a lawyer. Do you see
not a good one.
You see the stupidness here? You can't sue Trump while he's in office.
No.
So that's monumentally stupid.
But she's on The View, so I mean that's to be expected.
Yeah. She's not the smartest one on The View either.
Good. Apparently Frosted doesn't know any of the songs on the poll. I find that amazing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Frosted said he doesn't know any of the songs on the poll. And just like that surprised me.
Well, let's see. Billy Idol, that's classic rock. Heart is classic rock. Leader Ford is also classic rock. Prince is more 80s music, so I don't know. Frosted, what is your favorite genre? I'll make sure next week I throw something in there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a youngin' though. I think he's born in like 1989, so maybe this is all before his time.
What's that song from Imagine Dragons, Believe?
See, I don't know. I've never listened to Imagine Dragons.
That's a later band, although not terribly later. I've been seeing that
maybe
around.
one song I liked, but like I don't.
Yeah, I think they have another one that I like too, but that song pops up on Twitter a lot. I thought maybe I'll add that to a poll.
Okay.
So
it's kind of weird that there's the odd hard band where the only songs I like are the one or two soft songs that they have.
Okay, so Frosted likes older classic rock, like Pink Floyd and the Beatles and the Who, as compared to more contemporary classic rock. Yeah, we've had Beatles on the thing. I don't know if there's anything by Floyd, maybe Brick in the Wall or.
Yeah, there's Pink Floyd songs you could.
Personally, I like Welcome to the Machine a lot, but the Who, yeah, they have some catchy tunes that would fit. So, Terry, it's your official job to remind me of this when we get close to the next week. Yeah. So I picked something from one of these 3 bands.
Yeah.
We got you covered, Frosted. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So so Sonny Hostin suing Trump sounds colossally stupid.
Yeah. You would think as a lawyer, she would know this is basic constitutional law. This isn't like describe me word for word what the FACE Act is. It's not like we're trying to get any kind of detail. It's just that everybody knows this. Even people who are not lawyers know this. I'm not a lawyer. I know.
I'm not even American, and I could have made an educated guess.
She's so stupid.
Well, it's the TDS stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think some people on the other side have the other form of it too, where like, anything Trump does is perfect, and I'm like, no, that's not okay either. But they're so fixed on their hate bone for Trump that, like, they're committing crimes. Like Don Lemon just committed a crime. Like he could be tried for something that the KKK would have been tried for. When you let your TDS go for so long that you're like, okay, I'm going to violate the rights of others.
Let me address something in chat real quick. If you want to suggest a band, I have no problem with that, and I will try to incorporate it.
It's just things like Cannibal Corpse and
well that, but you can't say I want this song. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's
So-
also what has Trump said that? Yeah, that's a good question. What has Trump said that defamed her that like everybody else hasn't just clipped?
He posted. Karen Levitt showed it in her last press conference. There was a paper with photos of all the illegals that had committed crimes, and she insists that most of those people did not commit crimes. Like somehow she can get their criminal record without knowing their names because their names haven't been released.
Uh-huh.
And she says they should all get together and work with her to sue Trump. I was like, you can't do that.
What an idiot!
Oh my God. And
like-
and to this day, Whoopi will not call Donald Trump Donald Trump. She
No.
uses you know who. That's how
Yeah.
petty and childish she is.
I've also heard a lot of them say like 47 rather than Donald Trump, just because like that's
Yeah.
what number president he is.
I don't really have a problem with that. Because he
45,
did
47.
something he did something not many people do. He repeated,
Yeah.
with time in between. So
He's the second
that's-
one. He's only the second one to do it, I believe.
yeah, I forget who was the other president.
Grover
Buchanan?
Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland. Yeah.
And I'll never forget because that was on The Simpsons. Grandpa Simpson.
Simpsons.
Yeah, Grandpa Simpson he got spanked by the president on 2 non-consecutive occasions, and there was a website that I used to read that was like full of like analysis of Simpsons episodes, and they concluded that since Grover Cleveland was the only president who served non-consecutive terms, Grandpa like Abraham Simpson had to have been spanked in these like groups of like 4 years, and then from that determined how old he was. And I just thought that was like hilarious, like over analysis.
We don't have one more person who has not voted yet.
Well, it's because they can't meme Frosted. It's still a thing. They really can't meme. They have to steal from you guys because it's usually the American side. Sometimes the Canadians steal from you too. I admit I've poached some of yours and then borrowed it to irritate my own lefties. But yeah, I know. And then they do it wrong.
Yeah. The left can't meme is a meme in and of itself, which I think is hilarious. And JB's talking about The Simpsons and Bart getting the Australian kid in trouble by wasting like $900 he does.
I've done that to you before, Terry. Mention the Simpsons episode with the toilet.
Yeah. $900 he does.
But I also asked you if your
Prime
toilet
Minister.
swirled in a different direction. I was like, so Terry, when you flush.
Prime Minister, Andy. And then like the Prime Minister's just like floating in a like swimming pool eating a hot dog.
Some of them want to. Like, some of them want to project that certain people on the right might be gay. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. Some people already were. Like Blair White. You know, like, like I know she's not like a gay man. She's a trans person, but like still gay, you know?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of overlap.
Like, yeah, like she would be mad at me for saying that, but it's still kind of like, you know, it was still gay community. But still there's plenty of people who are gay who are conservative or actually Trump fans.
Like, Blair White was a gay man until Blair White became Blair White and became a trans person instead.
Yeah, that was Chismic me factual what I said, but like, you know, I know there's things that happen there, but she's not the only gay person who's a Trump fan. Like there's quite a lot of them, you know, and it's the same with the ICE, you know, the ones that have been really making the liberal women cry are the ones who are people of color.
It turns out that liking cock does not exclude you from also liking Trump.
Yeah. It's almost like color doesn't mean that, ideology. A lot of people are in the same mindset in the US. They voted for this shit. Not to go back there or anything, but before I came on, I was watching a couple of things. Like, oh dear.
And I have to read JB's comment. He says, "You don't want to hear my thoughts on trans people. LOL. It rhymes with molested as a child." I mean, there's probably a lot of overlap there as well, I got to say. And Snow, once again, our good friend Snow singing Informer. So I presume Hammer has found yet more Canadian rap to share with everyone by putting Snow in the title.
Hopefully it's not the do you want to be Canadian, please?
It's the upcoming snow epidemic that's coming up. We're going to, in Pennsylvania, where I'm living, we're going to get 16 inches of snow.
Ah, that's even more than the album. The album's only 12.
We were supposed to have a cold snap. Yep, we are.
We are not expecting any sort of cold weather in the middle of summer. So I am safe.
Yeah, I don't think a kangaroo would appreciate if you came up and snuggled him and been like, hey, buddy, it's cold as shit. I think that's like you.
Yeah. Stay away from kangaroos. They're not good. They hurt if they attack you.
They're still cute looking. Don't get me wrong. If I went to visit your neck of the woods, I'd go to a place where they probably keep them as like petting zoo.
Yeah. If you go to like a petting zoo and they've got kangaroos there, that's different. But if you see a wild kangaroo, stay the fuck away from it.
No.
JB says, don't koalas have an STD? I believe they have chlamydia.
Yeah, I'll never forget that video of a guy, I would assume an Australian man, has his dog being attacked by a kangaroo, and the kangaroo has the dog in a chokehold.
Yeah.
And he walks up, puts his hands up, and goes, bam, and pops the kangaroo in the face. And the kangaroo just stands there like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And they both just walk away. I was like, that's so Canadian or so Australian for a man to walk up and just right cross a kangaroo.
I mean, there's a reason that the whole boxing kangaroo, like Frosted is mentioning, but like the whole reason boxing kangaroos became kind of like a thing is because it looks like they can punch you and like they'll absolutely murder you if you actually try and box one.
I thought their big thing was their legs, that they would lean back on their tails and kick with their legs.
Yeah. If a kangaroo kicks you, you're dead.
They can hit you with their chest too. Like I think that's one of the things they do is they kind of wind you with their chest because it's all like pure muscle, and then they use their feet to disembowel you.
The point is kangaroos will fuck you up. Don't think you can take one in a fight unless you're also a kangaroo.
Deer are also deceptively cute. Like, yes, you could be friendly with them. They'll go up to you and like, accept the treats and stuff.
Yeah, they're generally docile, but don't fuck around with one.
Yeah, if they start assuming that you're going to hurt them, or if they've got babies nearby, or Lord forbid they have a baby nearby when you have a dog, because they'll assume the dog is a wolf, or a coyote, and they're like, they'll kick your dog to death, and then you.
Yeah. We have white-tailed.
The Simpsons said that unflammable means flammable. No, I mean inflammable is the word. And the Simpsons were not the only ones to point out that inflammable and flammable mean the same thing.
We have the most docile version of deer here called whitetail.
Okay.
So, yeah, in the wild, they'll get spooked. But if you're sitting down, one will walk right up to you.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's happened here. I mean, not to me personally, but I've seen deer walk up to my next door neighbor and to my dad when he was alive. And they just walk up to him, look at him, and, if you have some kind of food, you feed them food, they'll eat it right out of your hand. It's like, wow. They recognize the difference between, bears and humans or whatever other predators are out there. And they
Well, I
kind
mean,
of trust us.
if you feed them, they'll associate you with a food source, and they'll probably become a lot
Probably
more
because
of a-
they've been fed by somebody else, right? So they already had the experience. Oh, these
Yeah,
human
exactly.
people, they feed us.
Exactly.
It's also the culture too. Like if you were to go to like say Japan, where they have a lot of the deer petting zoos,
Mhm.
those deers have gotten so used to human interactions that they actually like to live around humans, because humans have fingers. They can scratch them in places that they actually have a hard time getting to.
Yeah.
So they'll actually fight over you. They're like, oh no, this is my scratching person. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
You know, so they'll start
I like
fighting
that.
with each other for you. But it's because you're their scratching person. But our deer are still. Yes, there are people who feed deer more often. You will end up with probably a series of deer who are like, well, if you want to scratch me and you're not going to shoot me, that's cool, you know. But deer are still used to us wanting to eat them because they're delicious. They are delicious. I've had one.
I've never eaten or seen a deer, so I am missing out. I would like to try both.
They are very tasty, but like in all honesty, I don't mind the idea of like kind of taming more animals and just like using them for food. Like, you know,
If
then
there
you
was
can
a place
test
that I
them.
could get venison that like I didn't have to cook myself, like I can get like venison, like raw venison delivered, but that's not much use to me. But if there was like a restaurant that served like cooked venison, I'd absolutely give it a try. I'm very curious, but nowhere in my vicinity does.
Venison can be a little stringy, but it's delicious nonetheless. If you cook it properly, it usually ends up really tender and tasty. My dad was a hunter. We had venison the entire time I was a child, up to like 12 years old. The deer in Canada are mule deer, and they're a little bit more skittish or aggressive. They'll kick you with their hooves and stuff like that. So anyway, it's past time.
It is. It is.
And I was the first person to say it this time.
You were.
I was. All right. Let me find my outro. Let's go ahead and get out of here. I picked the music for tonight.
Yep.
So thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening except Thursday. With most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That should be showing up beginning of next month as soon as I get a new monitor. That's where we see all the spicy things anyway.
Yes.
Let me turn the music down a little bit. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
See you later, guys.
Have a good one, everybody.